Anybody? Come on up, please. If you would, stand and join us in the prayer.
Here?
Right there, please.
Good. Our Heavenly Father, we recognize that you are the Creator and that you give each one of us a purpose. Help us to do that purpose, to keep you in our hearts and our minds, to keep our family, our city, our county, our state, and our nation in our prayers. To tell you that we love you. We want to honor you with what we do here tonight. And we pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Roll call.
Mayor Hicks?
Here.
Representative Quintana?
Not here yet, but we'll call him in a minute.
Counselor Sandoval?
Here.
Counselor Dickens?
Here.
Counselor Lewis?
Here. Call. So we're calling Counselor Quintana. We're going to put him on the phone. I could get you to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hoorah!
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Has the council had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes.
Yes. I'll take the motion.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Second. Counselor Quintana? Can you hear me, Mike?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. We got approval of the agenda. I'm asking for your vote.
Yes,
Ruben?
Yes. Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
We had employee recognition, but we didn't get a chance to call them, so we'll do that at the next meeting. Citizens to address council. Jack Barty. You're up, Jack.
Okay. Well, all those signs that you talked about was going to be fixed so quick, none of them has been touched.
Paul?
And another thing, Saturday night, we went to the Riverwalk. The Polynesian dancers was there. You couldn't hardly see them for the trash blowing around, and the mosquitoes was thick, nobody could sit still. In fact, they had to cut their dancing 30 minutes short because the mosquitoes was eating them up. Now, I was wondering why you never spray for the mosquitoes anymore.
We are spraying for the mosquitoes. As a matter of fact, we broke away from the county, Jack, because we were not getting enough of a response from the county. And we went on our own. We more than doubled the money we're spending on that right now. But we are playing catch up because we started late. We started late because we're waiting on the county. That won't happen next year, and it should get better as we get further into this.
Well, they're gonna have more meetings there at the Riverwalk this year. So they need to start spraying now around there and clean up that trash. Because it's blowing around and they can't even see through it hardly.
Okay. Wayne, did you hear that?
Yes, I talked to Mando about that. We don't pick up trash on weekends, but I told him we'd start picking it up, send somebody out there to pick it up before the concert.
Okay.
At the very least, Friday afternoon.
We do it on Fridays, but we'll do it on Saturday, just to make sure.
You know, on Fridays I also have my two guys that work here out of City Hall directed to pick up on Fridays. So I'll make sure that they're getting that done.
Is there any way to give that vector control person a schedule of these events that are happening where he can go spray beforehand?
Yeah, I can give him see if I can get those schedules. I did send him an email We did get several reports this week of mosquitoes in different parts of the town, and I sent him an email and made him aware of these different areas.
Yeah, and the events that are gonna happen like the day before or after, we can let them know in advance so they can actually go with it.
Yeah, I'd recommend that he go back in there where the stage is and spray right in that area back there, because that's where they're coming out of that water, of course. And then up on top if he can,
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
Fridays.
he did the applications to the turf grass. He said he was still getting populations that were higher than what he was happy with, so I believe he was gonna go back in and do another application.
Is he spraying residential areas also? Because it seems like the residential areas are also packed with.
Yeah, it's just all this rain where we have puddles of water that we've had in the last couple of weeks. There's just no way to be able to treat all those areas, so we're gonna have a hatch, and when we have that hatch, then they'll have to be sprayed.
Yeah, well, like Modi said, we're paying double.
Playing catch up, playing double.
We're paying double, so we should have some kind of effect on this. We're not.
Are they just running one truck or they're more than one?
I don't know.
Well, these mosquitoes just surfaced in the last 3 or 4 days, and so, you know, we get these calls every year, and it just,
It's
we
one
do
of-
our best.
It's one of those things, I'll tell you gentlemen, it's one of those things that you're not gonna get rid of the mosquitoes in town. The best you can do is control them.
Yeah.
When you have these hatches and things, then, the best you can do is after the hatches come in and do a spray program when that happens. But it's not gonna be the type of thing where we are not gonna have mosquitoes in grants, that will never happen.
Well, no, it won't, but he sold himself a doctor, you know, and mosquito.
Well, yeah, but just understanding what is reasonable and what isn't.
Yeah, well, we're still being chased by mosquitoes.
Anything else, Jack?
No, just those dancers, they was eating them up. They couldn't even stand still waiting to get up on the stage to do their dance. In fact, you thought they was dancing before they got there, the way they was fighting those mosquitoes. Okay.
Thank you, Jack. Bud Wright?
I was, the golf course. You had a sign on 66 in Sacklarias Boulevard showing the place where the golf course is. That was knocked down by an automobile accident about 4 months ago. Why hasn't it been replaced? Also, at the road going towards the golf course on Hannish Boulevard, that sign says G-Go L, that's it. That used to be a golf course sign, and I mean, things like that don't help our community at all. Also, I was wondering, there's a house on the corner of Nimitz and MacArthur that has railroad ties, 6 feet tall, along MacArthur. Why is that allowed? I thought there was a 3-foot frontage.
Actually, that's considered the back of his house.
No, it's on MacArthur though.
Okay, you're talking that one house that's right on the corner that old
Right.
Mr. Rayburn used to live
Yes.
there? That's considered the back of his house, so he can have it spent 7 foot tall.
Really?
Yes, because of the way that his
Along
house
the road?
is situated there.
It looks terrible.
Yes, and I agree, it might look better when he's done.
Well, I hope so. Okay, I just wanted to say that because I had a fellow friend of mine came in today from Clovis, and he said Grant looks like, and the weeds, and he just drove in. He came in to see us and visit from Clovis. And gentlemen, we need this town to be cleaned up badly. Weeds, if you start with weeds, Mount Taylor School looks like sin. And that's our school that's going to start here in 2 weeks. Weeds. Please, clean up the town. Thank you.
You're right. Thank you.
You do right on.
But we do have a new fund in our budget this year that we're using for promotion and advertising, and we've talked about pulling money out of that fund to create signs around town. visitors that come into town, they don't know how to get to places, they don't know where places are, and even the hospital. And so we feel like we'll have a lot better sign program in place here in the next few months.
And you'll also notice further down that list tonight, there's an inmate work crew. We're bringing back the inmate work crew out of Western to cut weeds and to take care of these problems. We had that crew for a long, long time, and then when the state budget went to crap, they cut it, but now they're bringing it back. So we've already made the meetings, and we're gonna go ahead and bring that back tonight with support of the council. So yes, but we're on it. Give us a little time. We're working. Sydney Reynolds.
Thank you for this opportunity. Historically, the Animal Care Center, also known as the shelter, received $2,500 a year for medical intervention if an animal was injured or ill. That money has dissipated. It is no longer there. I'm not here asking for money. I'm here to ask for the city to institute a fund used exclusively for medical intervention that I can donate to. I have 3 large dogs that would have been euthanized if medical intervention was not done. One had parvo as a pup, 2 were litter mates that were thrown out the side of a road in a bag and needed a tib-fib fracture, and Tuffy's had 6 orthopedic surgeries. They give me a lot of joy most of the time. I think personally that intervention medically instead of just euthanizing an ill dog is not what I like. Also, a dog that has a deep laceration would need to be euthanized because there isn't anybody to suture it up. So, I'd like that. Okay, the second thing is also with the Animal Care Center. There used to be the pictures of the animals needing adoption in the Cibola Beacon on Tuesdays. That was co-sponsored by For the Animals of Cibola County, a 501c3 nonprofit, and the City of Grant. That hasn't been in the paper for quite a long time because For the Animals of Cibola County is defunct. It doesn't even exist. About 6 months ago, I sent a letter to the City of Grant and to the Animal Care Center stating I would like to sponsor 2 ads a month in the Beacon. I would assume all the costs. I would make sure the animals got their picture taken, and I would pay for the ad to be in the Beacon. I'm standing here now saying I would still like to do that, and no one else is doing it, and no one else feels the need to do it, and I'm willing to do it. So, that's it. I would like a fund that I can donate to, and I would like, you don't have to donate, the city taxpayers don't have to do it. Maybe there'd be another person in the community that might want to donate for medical intervention for the homeless animals in the shelter. And I would like to sponsor 2 weeks of pictures of the little animals needing home in the Beacon. Thank you so much.
Barbara Wesley.
Is that mic on, please?
Mr. Mayor and Councilman, first of all, I don't know if you've heard the report this morning that came out that our mayors and our city councilmen are doing a better job than our legislators and congressmen. You have a 75% approval rating nationwide as mayors and councilmen, and our congressmen have an 8% approval rating. So I commend you for the things that you're doing because it was stated that you address those needs of your community as they're relevant. And so I commend you for that. What I wanted to do was to ask that you bring Terry Bruner, who's with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, to make a presentation to the City Council. We recently were in Zuni, and they have a program, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has a program almost like Habitat for Humanity, where people of low income can get into a home by doing a lot of the work themselves. And there were 3 new homeowners in Zuni, and they're planning on having a total of 10 completed this year. There was also a rehabilitation of an apartment complex in Gallup, and this was all funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Also, there has been a grant that's been awarded to Hidalgo, Luna, and Grant counties in southern New Mexico as a pilot program for them down there. There's a tremendous amount of money available through the U.S. Department of Agriculture for our communities, and we are not pursuing the money that is available. And I would encourage, and I would be willing to help, but Mr. Bruner is the contact person here in New Mexico that represents the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And they have a lot of money that's available to rural communities. And we are not, to my knowledge, we are not making ourselves available of that money. I'd also like to address the golf course, just some observations that I've made over the years. Number one is they have golf lessons for our high schoolers, and they have camps during the summer for our youth, teaching them golf. They bring tourists into our community, and many times when they have tournaments, these people stay in our local hotels, they dine in our local restaurants, and in addition to eating at the golf course. The other is our airport. This airport is being used by Kirkland Air Force Base for the Osprey trainings, and Kirkland is going to be getting 2 more Ospreys that are going to be training at our local airport. The other thing is that there's a fly-in almost every weekend where pilots come in and they dine at our local restaurants here in Grants. They come and they hike here, they come and they eat here. And let's see, we were there one time when, in fact more than one time, when there was a plane that came in from Houston, and these people were here to buy land. They were looking for ranch land, and they were here to purchase land. So our airport is really important to our community and promoting our airport. I do have one comment that probably is not the most positive, and it refers to our dog park. I recently acquired a puppy from the Animal Care Center, and I thought that a great place for this dog to roam and play would be at the dog park. I'd never used it before. And he found a hole in the fence and went out to play with 2 horses that were on the south side of the dog park. I could not get him back in. It was getting dark, and I didn't know if I needed to call the police. On the south side of that field, I thought perhaps I could get in, and because I could see gates. Well, the gates were not only had chains, but they were padlocked. So couldn't even get into the south side to go and get him. And eventually he came back out, but I didn't know really what to do. I would be willing to, and I reported this to OMI. They told me that they didn't have money to repair that fence. If you could provide me with 3 or 4 pieces of rebar, I could get someone to go in and help me repair that fence so that dogs could not get out and dig up under that fence. So that would be important, I think, for those, because my dog was not the only one that has dug under that fence. The other thing I should mention is that we take photos of the dogs at the animal shelter. That ad comes on 4 times an hour, up to 17 hours a day, so there are 68 spots in one day advertising the adoption of animals at the Animal Care Center. I don't have any other comments, but again, I want to thank you for addressing the problems in our community and dealing with them in a timely fashion. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Paul, can we follow through on that fence problem out there?
Yeah, Wayne, do you know about that fence problem?
Yes, we have fixed it before, but those horses keep pushing against the fence and kicking it with their hooves. But I don't know who told her, we don't have the money, but we'll take care of it.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Wayne.
Yes, sir.
I wanna comment about the USDA monies that are available. I was in a meeting, I don't think it's been a month, maybe 3 weeks now, and one of the speakers at the meeting was from the USDA about their monies. One of the things that USDA does have a lot of monies available for a lot of different items, but it's basically all loan money. It's not, they have very little grant money available, and the grant monies they do have available are very specific items. We look into them to see if they can help us in some of the projects that we have, but the vast majority of USDA money is loan money.
On that note too, we did a story, didn't you, Donald, on Mr. Rael's cabinet shop. That's about the only grant money they have is to help senior citizens in their homes. And that was a good story, by the way. Next, Bob Britton, you want to talk now or you want to wait till item number 4 comes up, Bob?
Doesn't matter.
Come on up. And I appreciate your prayer tonight. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Gentlemen, Mayor, Mr. Mayor, Councilman, there are a lot of rumors floating around about the golf course, as you know. And statement that was in the paper yesterday, or this morning, I guess it was. This morning kind of hinted that the mayor was listening to the citizens of Grants, and that's why he was coming up against the golf course, and that was not probably true, but that's kind of the way some of us read it. So there are a bunch of us here tonight to let you know that the silent majority is here. And I've lived all over the United States. I graduated from Grants High School in 1959 and then went into the U.S. Navy where I served in submarine service. Came back to Grants, worked for a few years, went to college. I've lived from Florida to Alaska and chose to come and retire in Grants. And one of the main reasons I chose to retire in Grants was the golf course. For this town to have a golf course as fine as we have, and I've played just about every golf course in New Mexico, it's a real plus. We don't want to see it go downhill. We don't mind you saving money in some areas. In fact, you could fire some guys. We had a guy from Gallup come over the other day, and he was playing ahead of us, and there were 4 guys sitting on their tractors up there on number 16, and they were watching, and he drove his cart all the way down to the green and picked up the flag and put it in, drove back to the tee while we waited and hit his ball. So somebody needs to, be sure that people are working when they're supposed to be working, but that's beside the point. That's in every business. But we just want to make sure that the golf course is still running and still going to run. The restaurant is great. They make the best green chili cheeseburgers in town as far as I'm concerned. And so we're not here to be mad. We're here to cooperate, but we want to make sure that you know that we're watching and that we can stand up if necessary. Okay? Anything else I need to tell them besides that? Okay.
I got a couple comments though, Bob. We're not
Okay.
closing the golf course.
Do what?
We are not closing the golf course. There's no intention to close the golf course. The golf course has gone a little bit, down a little bit since Paul has moved into this job because we don't have the personnel qualified to be over there to take care of that job the way Paul did.
Right.
Okay, that's the reason the golf course has gone down a little bit. As far as the silent majority are the people that are voted for Modi Hicks. Okay, and I don't see a whole bunch of them out there tonight, but they're the ones that told me about the golf course and to save money at that golf course. And that's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing there.
So you're saying that those of us who voted for you, that you don't
No,
recognize our faces,
no.
we don't count?
No, I'm not saying that at
So
all,
you
Bob.
we can
I'm
go
not
outside
saying,
and
I'm not
talk
saying
about it.
that at all, Bob. Don't put words in my mouth, please,
Okay.
because I don't appreciate that.
All right, I don't need
What I am saying is, the people that I spoke to when I was knocking on doors and campaigning, they told me they wanted the golf course put in check. They didn't want us wasting that much money out there no more. Okay, and now I know that they've compared it to basketball leagues with the little kids. We don't spend $450,000 on the basketball leagues for our kids. Okay, they've compared it, they've told me, well, you're not a golfer, so you spend your money on other things. And you're right, I spend my money on hunting licenses, rifles, and bullets. But I don't ask the citizens of Grants to pay for my gas when I go hunting. Okay, that's where I'm at. It's not about closing the golf course. It's not about running anybody out of town. It's about holding the golf course more accountable. Okay, it cost us $150,000 to do Jack Street, all the way from the pavement up. If I can save $250,000 a year at that golf course, that's one more street I can do. Sewer lines and everything, Bob. So, I mean, I understand reading the paper, you get misinformation and whatever. So I appreciate you guys coming here to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Okay, may I ask you a
You
question?
bet you can.
Where do you think the big waste is out there?
I believe it is, a lot of it's in the employees.
You don't know.
A lot of it I don't know, but I know that there is a lot of waste out there. And like you said, I don't play that golf that much, once or twice a year. But when I do go out there and I see exactly what you're seeing, and with you guys, it's probably every day you see it, because you're out there a lot more than me. I go out there once or twice a year. My point being is, why should the citizens of Grants spend roughly $500,000 a year for 50, 60, 70 guys to play golf every day?
There's a lot more than that. There's that many come from Galveston.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the people in Grants that support that golf course. The only thing that pays for that golf course, guys, is your water bill. No taxes paid for that golf course, nothing else, only your water bill. And our water bills are ridiculous.
I will say one.
What I want to do is deny anybody the right to talk.
gonna say. Getting old.
For the record, your name?
John Russell, lived in Grant 65 years, well, 60 anyway. Why don't we have a 3 or 4 people board that oversees the golf course? Why don't we have an accountability of where our money is, where our money's going?
We used to have that. We used to have that, John, and it was stopped by administrations prior to this one here. And that's one of the things that I do hope to do with this new contract going out, is to bring back a golf board. That was also suggested to me by Mr. Fletcher that runs the...
Terry?
Yes, there's been a few people that have suggested that to me about the accountability of the golf course. They had it before. All I can tell you is it was done away with previous administrations before we got here.
Well, I'm just thinking, you know, if you got 3 or 4 guys that's there, and not all golfers, a couple that's not, a couple that are, and talk it over, and have a strict accountability of it. How many guys played, where'd the money go? You know, things like that, because I don't think we do that.
No, they don't.
I kind of think we should, maybe. Anyway, about all I got.
Thank you. Public comment on the charter of compliance. Anybody got any comments on it?
Mr. Mayor, we are in compliance.
Thank you. Regular city council meetings, minutes. I'll entertain a motion for those.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes for 7/15 of 2014.
Second.
Second?
Counselor Quintana, oh, he's not here. Counselor Dickens,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval.
Yes.
Corrective action plan for the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay, what this is agreement with Forsgren and Associates. Forsgren and Associates is our engineer that will be, they're actually the engineers that built our existing wastewater treatment plant. And they're working with our attorneys on the administrative compliance order. The administrative compliance order is basically a fine find that the New Mexico Environment Department is tentatively, I guess, charging the city of Grants for different compliance issues that the wastewater treatment plant has not come up to standard on. Some of these issues, the vast majority of these issues are due to just the wastewater treatment plant's ability to meet these requirements. Some of them have to do with our spill that we had a year and a half ago. That spill was one.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago, spilled these different items. Some of these items we've already taken care of, but we have to respond to them with a corrective action plan for these different items. And so to do this, our attorney is drafting that plan, but we need our engineering company to input the information that she needs to put into this corrective action plan. So this amount that we're asking you to approve tonight of $20,000 will be their fees to deal with this corrective action plan.
What's corrective action on the existing plan?
Well, yeah, on the issues that New Mexico Environment Department have charged us with. There's 14 different issues. Some of them we've already corrected. Some of them, most of them are going to be corrected with construction of the new wastewater treatment plant. And then a few of them we'll still have to correct over these next few months.
So as long as we're in the process of working toward the new plant, we won't be fined.
Right. But
We already have been fined, Mike. We've already paid some of it. A lot of it they're letting us slide on as long as we mitigate these problems and take care of them. As you go down this list, the manhole repairs along the Rio San Jose, those have been done. The earthen berm around the 66th lift station, it's done. The groundwater contamination at the golf course, we're still in litigations over those. The affluent bar screen, that's another one that we gotta replace. The total nitrogen levels and stuff like that, I mean, that's a tough one because the wastewater treatment plant is so far out now. You know, that's one of the ones that we're gonna end up eating, I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, but as long as we're working
Yeah,
toward building a
yeah.
new one.
And the New Mexico Environment Department does not want us to be spending this money for paying fines.
Yeah.
They want us to correct the problems, and part of this administrative compliance order is to help put our project higher up on the list. And our project right now with our wastewater treatment plant is ranked #2 with the state of New Mexico. And we feel like it's gonna be put as #1 because the #1 project is not, doesn't look like it's gonna be complying with everything that it needs to do to be #1. So it looks like ours is gonna go up to #1, which will greatly assist us in getting the funding that we need. And that's part of what this administrative compliance order is all about, because they understand that this treatment plant we built, back when we built the treatment plant, it was capable of meeting all these standards. A lot of the reason it can't meet the standards now is because those standards have been raised to the point that this wastewater treatment plant was never a treatment plant. This treatment plant was never a treatment plant that would deal with nitrates. And nitrates over the past 20 years have become a big issue in the Environment Department. And so those standards have been increased. And because of that, our treatment plant doesn't meet those anymore. And there's some other issues with it. We have to clean out sludge. It would improve on that and things. But the plant was never built to meet that standard. And that's one of the biggest issues. That's one of the major findings about this, is the nitrate levels.
Thank you, Paul. Mr. Mayor, I move that we fund the corrective action plan item #3.
The amount of $20,000.
In the amount of $20,000.
Is that 21,360?
Whatever the total
It'll
is.
be up to that. I don't see it getting that high, but it'll be up to that.
So let's approve it to the 21,363.
I second that.
Councilor Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilor Jacobs?
Yes.
Councilor Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, take Michael back on that phone.
refer to item number 4?
Go for it, Paul. So it's really,
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
that better, sorry guys, I didn't mean a little bit of a loud crowd with me.
Okay. We have the 4 RFP proposals for the golf course, actually 5 different proposals, or options that we can do. Option number 1 is to contract the entire golf course, the restaurant, the pro shop, the maintenance of the golf course. And then all the income would be going to the contractor, and they would be responsible for managing the entire golf course. Option number 2 is basically what we have right now. We contract the clubhouse and the cart rentals, the managing of everything around the clubhouse, including the restaurant, is managed by a contractor company. The maintenance of the golf course is controlled by the city. And that's what we have right now, and option number 2 would be doing an RFP for those services. Option number 3 is basically, it's the same thing as option number 2, except along with the clubhouse, the maintenance of the golf carts would be included in that. In option number 2, the maintenance is not included, other than just daily maintenance of cleaning, tires, battery maintenance, those kind of minor repairs. But in option number 3, it would be all of the clubhouse, including the maintenance of the golf carts, and then the maintenance of the golf course would be part of the city's. Option number 4 and option number 5. Option number 4 is to put out an RFP. Well, option number 4 is actually that the city retains control of the entire golf course, manages the clubhouse, manages the restaurant, manages the maintenance, and the city would be collecting all of the revenues from that. Option number 5 would be that the city would operate the entire golf course except for the restaurant, and the restaurant, an RFP could go out to contract the restaurant services out. Any questions about that?
I can't see any other options.
I have a couple of
Okay, Michael?
comments real quick. Okay, after looking at these proposals, now, I saw that number 2 is what we have in place right now, and basically that's not what we want. So I think in the best interest of the city, and what's realistic in all means, or by all means, is I believe that number 1 is, I don't think that can happen. It's not gonna happen. Same thing with number 3, that's not gonna happen. And my suggestion or my recommendation would be number 4. I think that would possibly be the best fit for our needs as a city, and put this on a trial basis and basically see where we can go from this. But bringing in a contractor to take over the entire portion of the management of our golf course is not going to happen. So that's how I feel about it. Now, I don't know how anybody else, what they're looking at, but I kind of wanted to voice my opinion on that whole thing, so that's what I'm looking at.
This option 3, number 3, the golf carts reads as though they have to provide the golf carts.
Right, they
They
will
do.
also provide the golf carts.
And we have them there already. Why would they want to?
Well, our lease is up on the golf carts, so if they provide them, then we
They
will.
release them from us?
Well, we would either sell them to them or sell them back, or sell them back to, or sell them somewhere. We would sell the golf carts.
Okay, so this wasn't a typo. This is what you would ask for.
Right.
For them to provide their
To
own.
provide the golf carts, and they can either buy the ones that we have or buy their own, but they would be responsible for them.
I want an option 5, an option 6. You like that? You could have that, as many options as you want.
Sure, that's where I was gonna get at, is I don't see the option that I've been saying that I've wanted since day one. That we lease the golf course and pay someone $100,000 to run the golf course. They get the golf course, they get the employees, they get the liquor license, they get the pro shop, they get everything.
That's option
That would be
number
number one.
That'd be number one.
With the details of doing it, that's option one.
Okay, then, as long as we've got the
Option
lease,
one.
because I disagree with Michael, how are we gonna know if we don't put it out there? Especially a lease option where we're paying someone to come in and run our golf course, okay?
I think what Michael's saying is that when we do put the RFP out, we're not gonna get any responses like that want to.
If it says that we're gonna pay him to run it, you bet we will.
We will get.
I bet you we got people out there in the audience right now that'd be interested in that.
We will get responses.
Yeah.
I don't know if those responses are gonna save us any money or not, but we will get responses.
Well, the only way you're gonna get a response is by putting it up.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about an option 6 where, you renew Manny's contract with whatever he does. And have accountability like you've never had before there and see what happens.
Manny has said even today, he's leaving.
Yeah, but I don't know that. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you might know that, but I don't know that. But if you have accountability there that you've never had before, it might make a difference.
Yeah. Well, we have places for other options. I'm open to any other options. And one of them, like somebody was saying, sell the whole thing, just sell it.
I guess what I don't understand is I don't understand what accountability has not been there. I haven't seen it, working over there 9 years.
Well, where is all the money that we're losing there? Where's
We're
it
not
going?
losing
Where
money.
can
That's
it
what
be
it
made?
costs to run the
Are we
golf
giving too much out there?
That's what it costs to run the golf course.
We have
That's $750,000.
That's what it costs to
That's
run
what
the
it
golf
costs to run the golf
To
course.
We
run
don't
that
have too many
operation.
freebies out there.
No.
Everything's accounted.
Well, I know one thing that can be changed, without a doubt, just for starters, is what we charge out there.
Yeah, there's another thing.
Okay.
You can charge. I bet you
I mean,
everybody's
compared
willing
to everybody else in the state, we're the lowest by far, and we have one of the finest facilities by far.
And
It
I
should
bet-
be a little bit different than that. We should charge more for the finest facility in the state.
I bet everyone's willing to pay more too.
Our fees are low. They are.
They're totally low.
If we charge $10 more per round, that would be another $180,000 a year.
Minimum.
How many people would that turn away? Yeah, right, that's the,
I don't think
That's
we're
an
turning away that
important
money,
question.
because the people that can play golf have the money for $10.
what's that number compared to other courses like in Albuquerque? Like,
That wouldn't
what is
even
it,
bring us
20?
up to what it costs there.
I think that's what Albuquerque courses are running with a cart right now is about, is in the $35 to $40.
$40, $42.
I don't know what Manny told you today or where you heard it from, but what I heard about Manny was that if he could put in another 3 years here before to retirement, he would. Because supposedly that's what he's got left.
Well, we need to clarify that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
basically that's what he has left to retire, period, regardless of where he goes or stays.
Right. I mean, this is something that I heard on the street. Manny didn't tell me that, but
Okay, okay.
I heard it on the street.
Because that's what I heard as far
And that was today.
as far as the street, and that's
Yeah.
today.
I spoke with Manny personally, and Manny says he's leaving.
Because, no, he hadn't been given an option to do that. If he.
Yes, he
could
was
be
given the
option-
option to bid on this. Yes, he was.
Okay,
Everybody's
he just
given the option to
wasn't
bid on
saying-
this.
He just wasn't told your contract's up in September and goodbye?
No, no, he was given the option to bid. I went and spoke with Manny personally at the golf course. I talked to him and Julie both, and I told them that I would prefer that they bid on this, because they know what's going on out there.
And they may, when
Then he's
he
not
gets
an
out
option.
there.
Then he's not an option.
Well, they might bid on it. They might provide a proposal once it gets out there. I think right now, what you're asking for, Paul, is.
His direction, which
just-
way to go.
Right.
Yeah, I wanna know,
Okay.
which way you wanna go, and part of that RFP that I need to know is also what term would you like to do this contract at?
2-3 years, guys. We don't wanna go more than that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go more than 3.
You wanna go 3?
Well, it's gotta be worth.
Michael, you
I-
think it's worth 3? Wanna go 3?
Is this an item we're voting on tonight?
You bet it's an item we're voting on. We gotta get this thing moving,
I'm
baby.
not gonna support bringing a contractor in.
No, I agree with Michael. I think we should go with item 4.
Yeah, but that's not what we're voting on. We're voting on whether to release the RFP.
Right, direction.
No, yeah. We're not voting on what's gonna happen to the golf course.
Right.
We can't vote on what happens to the golf course till we get RFPs back.
We don't need an RFP if we're gonna go ahead and maintain this golf course by our own means.
And that's true too.
But we need to, well then why not stay where we're at? We need to find out what we get back.
Yeah, I would say let's at least get the RFP out there. That'll satisfy a lot of questions from all of us. And then make a decision after we get some
Okay, so
proposals
what
back.
options are we gonna put out of the RFP? Option 1 and option 3? Option 1 or option 2? Option 1, because 4 and 5 are us taking it all over.
Well, 1, 2, 3, and 5. Because option 5 is there would be a contractor that has the restaurant and the bar.
So I'll make a motion, I need a motion to reflect that we're gonna put out RFPs for 1, 2, 3, and 5.
And do we want to add any other options?
Do you want to add 4 or just?
4 is just us doing it. I mean, we can do that when we come to vote on it, if that's what we decide to do.
We need to decide,
Tell us, Paul, come on, bro. That's why we pay you, man.
we need to decide what direction you wanna go. I mean, going out and putting out 4 RFPs is gonna be, do we want a contractor to give us I guess I'm a little confused. Do you want a contractor to give us what their price would be on each one of these options?
Well, just let them provide us with a proposal on whatever option they would like to offer.
So
Yeah.
just put
The
the golf course out to
RFP
RFP for services and see what we get back?
The RFP will have 4 options on it.
Right.
And it'll go to everyone. And then they'll say, we're interested in option number 1, here's what we would do, and here's the dollar.
And make sure that option number 1 has us paying them to operate the golf course.
Well, they would all have to. There's not enough income there to support.
But I would recommend a contract of no more than 2 years, because that place could go in the toilet in 3 years. And if it's going downhill, I want to stop it quickly.
And like we said, maybe
Or
after we
maybe
get the
even a year.
RFPs back, guys, we may not even want to do that, and we might want to stay with doing it ourselves, all of it. Option number 4. But we won't know that until we get the RFPs back.
Yeah. I would
Okay.
agree we need to get the RFP.
What is standard practice for leasing a golf course, what time period?
Well, I know that, according to this text I just got, Albuquerque stuck, we're shutting down 2 of theirs.
But how often are these contracts made after? How long?
Well, I've got a sample.
Manny's has been how long?
Let me
4 years at a time.
Yeah,
Manny's has been 4 years at a
So I
time.
have an example here of Santa Fe. They just did one for RFP for part of their golf course. City of Santa Fe. Let's see what's the agreement.
Which course is this, Paul?
This is for the Marty Sanchez.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
And their RFP went out for only the clubhouse and restaurant. The maintenance of the golf course was still done by the city.
So that still remains under the city
Right.
manpower, okay.
That would be option 5 for us.
Time period.
This one is basically option 3 in here, or option 2 in here. I believe, it could be option 3. I can't find what a term is in here.
Well, let's just cut it. Manny was 4.
Yeah,
Manny's contract was 4 years.
Paul, what would you recommend?
I say we go 2 years, guys.
It depends on what option that they would do. If they are doing option 1 where they provide carts, I think in option one, I think we're still providing the maintenance equipment and they're maintaining it. It's probably a 4-year lease, so if they're providing the carts, then they may wanna be able to get their investment out of it. In 2 years, I don't know, I mean, every company is different and their situation is different, so I don't know on that one.
Isn't a 2-year period a make or break in business anyway?
I don't think 2 years is unreasonable.
It's a make or break in a new business that's starting anyway, so it's.
Yeah, 2 years, sounds like that we're moving to 2 years.
We could, 2 years, you can do it 2 years and you can do, your options to renew,
Yeah,
so.
that'll be in there. Anyway,
RFP with 2 years.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we create an RFP with option number 1, 2, 3, and 5 for a period of 2 years, will be the length of the contract with the
Second.
potential contractor.
1, 3, and 5?
1, 2, 3, and 5.
Second, Sandoval. Counselor Quintana?
I'm curious to see what kind of RFPs we'll get, so I'll vote yes.
Okay. Counselor Quintana? Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
On to RFP. Next one, our voting delegates for the municipal league. I'll be the main voting delegate and I would look for an alternate.
When, where, and how? does this
It's for
happen?
the 28th, 27th through the 29th. It's for the annual voting delegates for the municipal league, where we vote to determine what we're gonna put up to the state legislature as far as municipalities go.
And one of us has to be there?
2 of us, a voter and an alternate. Since Ruben has been doing it, I'd like to send him back as the alternate.
Sounds good to me.
Ruben's
willing.
If Ruben's good with that. Okay, so I'll be the lead delegate, Ruben will be the alternate. You good with that, Michael?
Yes, that's fine.
I'll entertain a motion as such.
I'll make a motion, go ahead and designate you as the voting delegate,
And
And
Ruben
Ruben
is
is
second.
and Ruben as a second.
I'll second that.
Second it. Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval? Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, thank. Resolution 14-1457, terminating retiring premium contribution.
Mr. Mayor, we've discussed this before, and if it's written as discussed, I would move we accept this resolution and sign off on it.
I second it.
Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Cool. Next one, resolution 14-1458, signatory authority, non-metro area agency and aging. Tell us, Denise, what is it?
This is signatory authority for the senior citizens, the funding that they get. Just an annual resolution that we pass.
And who's the signature authority, Dory and Paul?
Yes. It'll be, both of them will have to sign up on it.
Dory and Paul?
Yes.
Will Paul still qualify?
Yeah, that's what was gonna be my next question. Do we have to redo this on the 11th
Yeah.
after we bring in Laura?
We may have to, but it has to be done.
Has to be done today, so let's go ahead and approve it today and then we'll redo it on our next meeting if we have to.
Can we approve it with changes?
Well, we don't have to do another resolution to change the,
I think if your position has, the title has changed, I think the person that moves into that title position
Yeah.
will take over.
yeah, because there was never,
Automatically.
there was never a resolution when I to change that. so,
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, like I said, like by default.
Yeah.
I'll entertain the motion then. To accept resolution 14-1458, signatory authority.
So we make a motion, we accept the resolution.
And second,
Second?
Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Cool. Inmate work group. This one is basically mine, guys. I've been up and discussed this with the warden at Western. They're gonna provide us with 8 inmates, 4 days a week. To cut weeds, to get in the Riverwalk, whatever we need them to do. They'll get in there with waiters, they'll pick trash, whatever we need them to do. Whatever we need them to do is what they'll do. We will supply the van, the gas, the tools. They will supply the cop and the inmates.
Okay, do we pay for the officer? Or do they pay
Yes,
for
we're paying for the officer, we're paying for the wages. They are covering the officer's benefits.
Okay.
Okay, all we're paying is the wages that he's out in town. On the days that he does not come to town and work, we do not pay him. We only pay his wages when he is in town with that crew working for us. And the inmates will make 50 cents an hour. Okay? Out of that, we'll supply the safety vest, we'll supply the tools, we'll supply the van and the gas.
Okay, you're saying 50 cents an hour, what's this, $1 an hour here?
That's up for discussion, that there's still, that dollar is, 50 cents of it is to go back to the state. And the state's supposed to cut that. And we'll do that in the final contract, guys, when it comes to it.
Okay.
What I'm looking for is the approval of $35,360 for this program.
I make a motion, we approve the $35,360 for the inmate work program.
Second. Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
I appreciate your support in that, guys. Next one, resolution 14-1459, year-end budget revisions. Discussion.
I want to give a little report on how we did this past year. A couple of items, our general fund. Our general fund, we had budgeted revenues of $8.8 million, and I'm just going to round these figures off. $8.8 million. Our year-end total that we brought in our general fund is $9.3 million. So we were up about $500,000 on our general fund. Our expenditures, budgeted expenditures, we budgeted $7.3 million, and our actual expenditures was $6.7 million. So we reduced our expenditures by $600,000. So we had a net right there of about $1.1 million net for the city. In our utility fund, which is our fund for our utilities, water, sewer, trash, we budgeted $5.8 million, and we brought in revenues of $6.3 million. So another $500,000 increase there. Our budgeted expenditures, we budgeted $5.4 million. Our actual expenditures was $5.2 million. So about $200,000 savings there, so it was about $700,000 in savings there, which gave us about $1.8 million net to the city in last year's budget.
Did we ever get back the money from the state for First Street?
We still haven't got the money for First Street. We haven't gotten that back, and so we did budget for that we were gonna get that in, and we didn't. So that's why our bottom line down there doesn't jive. We show actually that our expenditures were higher because we didn't get that money back from, yeah, we didn't get that.
Have they told us?
We are gonna get that money back.
Well, I was told that they came and did an audit, and they gave a report, and we didn't fulfill that audit report. So they're not gonna give us anything till that's done. We need to get the engineers in here to explain to us why that this is happening with this audit report with the state. Because they gave us an audit which we didn't meet the standard with the engineers. And supposedly it went to Paul, you and the project, special projects coordinator. And they're coordinating with the state as to why this list is not filled out or complete. It's incomplete right now, and they're not gonna pay.
I was told the same thing, and I don't understand that, because I thought the state was overseeing the project.
Part of the items in there that weren't fulfilled, as a matter of fact, a lot of the items that weren't fulfilled in there were items that the contractor was supposed to fulfill. It was paperwork that they were supposed to do and haven't done yet.
But see, what I was told is that the city was given, this was like from last Tuesday or something, where they were given 7 to 10 days to get this corrected, or
Yeah, that's
everything was
it.
gonna change,
Yeah.
we weren't gonna get nothing.
No,
Have we done that?
Yeah, it's done.
It's done, so.
It's done.
So they got their list.
They're done. They have a completed final walkthrough scheduled for Friday.
This Friday.
Right.
Has the contractor been paid?
We still owe the contractor a little over $100,000 that I've held back until this is all completed.
Okay, well, so after Friday, we'll know something.
Right. That's good, because they gave us 7 to 10 days.
We've gotten to this point several times before, and then some new issues come up, you know, right when we think, okay, we've got everything we need, then new issues come up. So then we start going through the same process again, and this has been one right after another on this project, and it's why, one of the reasons, it's why it's so important to have somebody from the city, in this case, it'll be the Public Works Director, to make sure they're on top of these projects, to make sure that these things are getting done.
I spoke to Anthony Brego in Gallup at the COG meeting the other day, and he's the one that's telling me all this. And we were on that deadline, to send it to him.
Yeah.
So but if you got it, if it's done, it's done.
It's done.
Anthony told me the same thing, but at the library.
Yeah, I'll entertain a motion for
So,
14.
do you have any other questions about the budget?
No?
No.
Just praise. I mean,
Yeah.
we're making a profit.
Yes.
But we should be,
Let's get some roads.
yeah, we should be able to use some of this money next year.
Sewer lines, man, I get more calls.
Yeah, infrastructure. 2 more broke ones this week.
Oh, yeah, the collapse, it's just, when we have to send the vector truck to go pump our sewer lines, and then take it out and dump it at the wastewater treatment plant and come back and pump our sewer lines, because they're collapsed. That's happening on Ackerman Street, on Peel Street.
Oh, this is, right
High
out here,
Street.
right out here, yes.
Right
I
out here
know.
on High Street, I mean, it goes on and on and on. And now with this on-call contractor, we're hoping to spend some of this money, get some of these things done. But on that note, I'll entertain a motion for the year-end budget revision.
I make a motion we accept 1459.
Second,
Second.
Counselor Quintana,
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval,
Yes.
Counselor Dickens,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis.
Yes.
And another thing, gentlemen, I want to give credit where credit is due. Our accounting director and supervisor, Tammy, is one of the big reasons that we do stay under budget. She watches every nickel back there and accounts for it and questions everything. And so, the reason that we're in the condition we're in is because of her.
That's right. Thank you, Tammy, if you're here.
Tammy, standing up in the back. Okay, next we have the final budget for this year's final budget, 14-1460. I think we've been over this and hammered this in closed session, guys. If you want to discuss it more, we can. If you don't want to, I would appreciate a motion. Let's move forward.
I make a motion we accept resolution 1460.
Second.
Second.
Discussion, Counselor Keaton, go ahead.
The changes that we discussed last week are included, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all included as we discussed.
Okay, Counselor Keaton,
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval,
Yes.
Counselor Dickens,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis.
Yes.
Okay, next one's mine. From the city manager. I gave you guys all the name of Miss Laura Jaramillo 7 days ago. I hope I get an unanimous approval. And once we do this, between Laura and Paul, myself and the council will determine how we're gonna divide these responsibilities up, okay? Paul's already got a real good idea on it, and I agree with it. But we wanna make sure with Laura coming on board, that we have everything situated to move this city forward just as fast as we can. So I'm open for discussion on this Jaramillo's contract. You guys have all seen it. And if there's no discussion, then I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I make a
I'll make a
motion,
motion
we
that we
approve
go and
it.
accept the contract for, Mrs. Jaramillo, Laura, for our city manager.
Counselor Quintana,
I'll second it.
second by Counselor Dickens.
Discussion?
Any
Yes.
discussion?
I would like to recognize Paul as the person who drove this bus for us. He's the one that recognized that we were in need of a public works director, and it shows a spirit of collaboration and a spirit of cooperation for him to invite a new city manager in. And I think that the move that we're making right here, we're going to make more progress in the next 5 years than we've made in the last 2 decades with these two leaders on our team. And I'd just like to thank Paul for, I mean, it takes a lot to do what he did, and I think it shows a lot of character. I agree.
Anything else?
I'd just like to, kind of mention what, Mike just mentioned. Paul, I think you did an outstanding job, and thank you very much for all your efforts as our city manager. And I really look forward to you, taking on this new position that you've agreed to challenge. So, good luck to you, and thank you again on behalf of the citizens of Grant.
Well, I'm still gonna be here on the city council.
Yes,
I hear you. I just want to commend you on your job that you did as city manager.
That was gonna be my comments, is that Paul will still be here during the city council meetings to direct us on what we have happening out there in the field. And it also should be recognized that Paul was given the choice of which one of these jobs he wanted to take. Okay? We didn't force him out as city manager. He was given the choice. And we gave him the choice of what he wanted to do here. If he wanted to stay as city manager and me hire a public works director, because that was gonna happen either way. Because there's no way one person could do this job. And that's why we're where we're at. So on that note, Laura, are you ready?
Mayor, I have one more comment.
Go ahead, Michael.
That's just, all it is just to reassure the whole thing about the degree requirement for this position. I think that Paul proved himself to prove that you do not need a degree to go ahead and be successful at a position that requires so-called WIT as part of the requirement to fulfill this position and its needs.
Okay, on that note, your vote, Michael.
Yes.
Councilor Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilor Dickens?
Yes.
Councilor Lewis?
Yes.
Laura, come on up and give us some comments, please. Come on up. And welcome aboard.
Thank you, thank you. I'm very honored to serve the citizens of Grants. And I have my long list of issues already, even from tonight. And I look forward to working with the mayor and the council and with Paul as well. And I think we're going to make a dynamic team. And I'm going to show just what Mike said, that we're going to move this town forward in 5 years, more than it's moved in the past decade. And I'm just excited as can be, you know, to be here and to represent our citizens.
Did you get Jack's signs on that list?
And yes, that's what, #1 on my list are the signs. And in fact, I already talked to Anna about it a couple of days ago and asked her, where do we get our signs from? So that's #1 on my list, those handicap signs at the chamber. So.
Yes, and
Thank you.
I'm moving some of the employee signs that the employees get to park up front. They can park at the skate park or something. Okay.
Thank you.
I'd like to offer my condolences to you and your husband
Thank
for the loss of your child. And I also like to add that you're going to prove that education is the key factor in anything. That's where I'm from.
Anything else, Eddie? Mike?
Well, I've known Laura for years. My oldest son went to Mesa View when she was principal there.
I felt she's an outstanding person, has always done an outstanding job, whatever her job duties were, and I'm sure she's gonna lead this city forward.
Mr. Lewis?
Well, I said what I said earlier, and of course I stand by that, but I'd like to encourage the county to take one of these folks that we didn't take as city manager, because there was some good ones in there.
Michael Quintana, you got anything?
Yes, I want to welcome Laura to her new position, and I look forward to working with her here in the near future, and congratulations on your selection.
Thank you, Michael. On that note, thank you. She starts on the 11th, so give her till the 11th till you start calling her. Okay? And on the 12th, she's with me all day, so scratch that one out.
You can start calling me anytime.
Okay, next. Planning and zoning. Is that right, resolution of liens? That doesn't seem right. These are the ones we're gonna tear down now, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're not putting liens on them yet till we get them torn down, right?
Well, what this is, it's a 10-day notice. It's the same resolution that we had passed and approved for the liens that we filed. But we sort of put the cart before the horse on the last set of liens because this document hadn't been produced by the attorneys as of then, when we did those demolitions. So what this is, it's normally what we send out a notice of violation, which is, gives them the notice of the violations in detail. They have a section there where they reply and they make a response to complaint. They have to show what they're going to do to make correct and the timeline to make correct. This doesn't give us the legal right to file liens against the property. So what we do, we came up with the other, the one we're applying the resolution over to. And that gives us the authority to file a lien when it's all said and done. It's not the actual lien, it's just the nuisance abatement resolution.
And on that 200 Black Mesa, they moved another trailer up there this weekend. They got 3 trailers up there.
I received a call from them today, and they wanted to see if they could have an extension. I said, well, the timeline's been met, and sorry, it is what it is.
And they still hauling crap up there. Okay.
But so with the resolution, we don't have a dollar value to place on the lien until after the fact. So.
That's fine. Okay. On that note, guys, I will entertain a motion for resolution 14-1461 to tear down 316 West Stevens. That's one Mr. Massey was in here about, right?
Yes, sir, yes. I make a motion, we tear down 316 Stevens.
Second.
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 Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Bingo, first one down. Second one, 14-1462, 200 Black Mesa Drive.
Okay, are they tearing it down or moving them trailers back out?
There's an old bus, there's old trailers, it's just an old junk pile
So
up there.
cleaning it up.
Yeah, we're tearing it all out and getting it out. One of the trailers has already been gutted, and all the insulation and stuff is hanging out of it, and they keep hauling more trailers up there to do this. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they think they're out of sight, out of mind up there.
Yes.
They're not. Okay, I make a motion, we accept the resolution on 200 Black Mesa Drive.
Second?
Second.
Second, Counselor Lewis. Counselor Quintana? Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Last one. This one's already tore down. It's in the dirt. We just need to get the rest of the crap.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why we need to move forward.
I don't know, man, but it happened so fast, it sure made my day. I was like, wow, we just approved this, and they took it down the next day.
Yeah,
So that was
that clutter needs to be
Yeah, we'll get
removed.
So I'll entertain a motion for 14-1463, which is 1022 Santa Fe Avenue.
I make a motion on 1022 Santa Fe Avenue.
Second,
Second.
Counselor Quintana.
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval.
Yes.
Counselor Dickens.
Yes.
Counselor Lewis.
Yes.
What is this finished Tumbleweed Drive?
That was the issue with the food laws, as far as the access to their property. I went there with Eric, with Wilson, and what he wants to do is he wants to look at it a little closer with the drainage study kind of issue applied to it, and so he'd get back to us within the next day or so.
Well, he should have been here the last few days in the rain. He could have seen all the drainage that he needed to see out there, man.
Yeah. So that one, I guess, my recommendation is that we table it.
We'll table this one. Okay, I'll entertain a
I
motion.
have another comment on, well, go ahead and finish that.
I'll entertain a motion to table finished Tumbleweed Drive.
Okay, is that guy gonna get out there in the next few days? Because it is gonna rain again.
He's, well, there's been a drainage study that's throughout the entire city of Grants. So what he wanted to do is go back and
Master
compare
drain
the master drain plan to exact area, and see what the contours look like, and see which direction the water's running, and just kind of apply a few numbers.
Was there any standing water out there when you were out there?
Very, very little.
Yeah, it runs off real well.
Yeah.
It runs off real well.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we table item 12B.
Okay?
Second.
Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Counselor Dick?
Yes.
Did you hear that about Putapaz, Michael?
Yeah, fill me in just so I can make sure I know what's going on.
Okay, yeah, the engineer went out with Marty today and they looked at it, and so he's just gonna review the master drainage plan for the city, and he'll get back to us today or tomorrow or the next day.
Okay, so right now, we're not doing any work, right?
No.
No.
Okay, and that's, that's with you, if we go in there and spend useless tax dollars for something that doesn't need to be there, let's not do that. And I know that's what they're probably trying to figure out with that master drainage plan, so that's good.
Yeah, Nick Drags over there, Michael.
I think the only thing we're looking at, Michael, is just what type of driveway they need to build there. I don't think we're looking at as far as anything with the city.
Sure, I'm with you. I mean, I think that, it's just a simple fix, put a culvert in just in case we get that 100-year flood. And, let them build up their driveway the way they need to, and they can move in and enjoy their new home.
On that note, Counselor Quintana for tabling Tumbleweed Drive.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
How about yes?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dick?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, on those, on these resolutions that we just did for the abatement of these buildings, we have some conflicts between this document, the lien document, and two ordinances that we have in place. And right now, I'm working with Marty and with our attorney in getting those all put together and all worked out so that we have a procedure, a policy, and things that we go about and do this.
Yeah, we'll set that up.
Yeah.
So that comes back to part of this cutting the paperwork.
Yeah.
It's when
You'll see an ordinance come before you probably the next month or so.
Okay, and that's one of the things that we put on with. I don't see any need for an executive session unless you guys do.
Wait, what did you find out with Encino?
Encino, the only way I had to contact the owner of record was by mail, and so I'm waiting for a response.
Executive session.
To see if they'll allow us to place the dumpster on their,
Or you can't go over there yourself and pass?
well, I guess I could knock on the door at Santa Fe and say, excuse me, this is, I will do that. That's where the owner of record is at. It's an empty lot. What, it's over considering a certain alternative, the alternate location, what's on the street of,
What's the cleaning services?
RKD.
Maybe they would allow it on the edge of their parking lot for
Possibly.
so.
I believe that that's changed hands here in the past month or so, but I could knock on the door and see if they would have an issue with this place.
That's something easier to contact.
Yeah. Probably just that.
How about the cemetery?
The cemetery, it was a judgment called on my part to hold off on that until there's some closure with Mrs. Lear's health issues. And so now that there has been some closures, I'll go ahead and I'll address that.
With that fence is what you're talking about there?
Yes.
Okay. Comments from the council, Michael?
Actually, I took a drive out to College Road Bridge, after that,
Did you see that?
That, I actually, Monday night, and actually it was Sunday night, and, we better get moving on that bridge, guys.
Yeah, we're on it.
I was gonna say the same thing, Michael. What size culverts are we gonna put in that thing?
It'll be basically the exact same design with the overflow on top, just because of the size of the culvert, because of the size of the width of the ditches.
50-year. But it'll be for 50, I don't think that one was that.
No, this one's
50,
25
probably
year. This is a 25-year bridge.
So it'll
Ours will
be
be just,
bigger.
that'll be a
Bigger.
bit bigger, but it's
I'm
still gonna be
hoping
that
it would.
over the top flow.
And-
Did you go look at it?
Yeah, I went and looked at it Sunday
I was-
when it was overflowing.
I was
and
hoping it was gonna wash it away.
I thought it was gonna, it was lashing there on
Oh, yeah, it was
Roosevelt.
going. You know,
No,
it came-
Roosevelt.
Yeah, it came right up to the top of Roosevelt, but it didn't come over.
Yeah.
But that was a good one.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at is that, and I know we're in the process of doing it, I think we need to be very careful when we do decide to break ground with the detour, with our detour on that whole section to determine where these, our residents are gonna travel in and out until this bridge is built, so.
Yeah, Michael, we're looking at,
That's gonna be your biggest project right there when you first come back.
yeah, we're looking at October, Michael.
Okay,
We're looking at October after the monsoons,
perfect.
okay? Counselor Sandoval.
I was hoping to have the police department here because I wanna hear where we are with our computers and our cars, because we've been after this for, there you are. I didn't see you back there, okay. Thank you. Mr. Castaneda gonna tell us where we are with our computers and our cars?
Yes, we have installed the router from Abbott Technologies that we purchased. We also have the server up and running, and that has also been installed. And we just made contact with DPS. They actually had to look at that modem or router. I'm not too sure what the technicalities are on it, but once they approved it and put their firewalls in it, they send it back. We've hooked it up, and we're now in response with DPS. So the next thing is getting our wireless hooked up, which we kind of had to wait for the fiscal year. And we need to purchase a few other things, and the mounts and the units have all been installed, including the 4 units that we've just purchased. And as far as anything that I'm missing on the technology side of it, I think we're pretty close to getting online. So
It's gonna happen within a month?
if we can get all of those items that we need purchased, I don't know exactly what they do, but we need IP addresses and other things of that nature to hook up the wireless so that we can operate. So, but the quotes are in. I've got it all submitted, and so it's just a matter of going through the process.
Yeah, the budget basically.
Yeah, the budget was basically kind of a little bit of a holdup, but we've gotten a lot farther than we have in the past. So.
Has everybody been trained on that, or are you gonna train them?
Actually, the system that we're using is actually what we used when we had stopped using it. So the only ones that are going to need the training on it are going to be a few of the new officers. But it's not a very technical program.
Okay.
It's very officer friendly. So.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, so.
Right.
You guys could do the in-house training, or? Okay.
That's exactly right. And then I've been set up to work with the NCIC because obviously that is sensitive. So therefore, I can train all the officers and keep them certified year to year with no cost to us.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Councilor Dickens, comments? Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Yes.
Along with College Road, Hannish Road over there by Central Auto, that one overflowed too.
Not as bad, though.
Both bridges are about in the same shape.
Yes, they are. Yes, they
So,
are.
need
We'll have
something.
that one on next year's list.
Yeah. Something needs to be done about that one, or it's gonna wash away.
Yeah.
That big hole by the high school, why can we not cover that hole and just put it as a drainage ditch like it was for over 50 years?
By law, when you do a project now, you are required to catch water before it runs off. That's from you state engineering guys, all you retired state guys, the ones that come up with this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ro-
it's supposed
Roosevelt
to go
Second.
away once we finish Second Street and stuff, but it's required by law that we catch that water, we can't just run it off.
Hold on, there's a limit.
Yeah, we can't,
We gotta catch that water,
by law, we can't use our streets as drainage.
got to catch that water.
And so we have to catch it, so the drainage from Roosevelt, the new part that we built there, goes into drainage pipes underneath Roosevelt, and they come out in that hole. That hole is lower than the Rio San Jose. So until it gets to the top and then runs down the ditch to the Rio San Jose, so it's basically a buffer. It'll go away when we finish Second Street, all of that'll
It'll
go
go away, but for now, it's there, and what we're doing with that is as it fills up.
You're pumping it out onto the street.
No, we're pumping it right down the ditch.
No,
It's got a little berm built up. If they're pumping on the street, I'm gonna get them.
just
That's
this
not what
morning,
they're
they were,
supposed to be doing.
and yesterday, they were pumping on the street.
They pump it onto the street.
And it goes right down, and it
Which is
basically
okay to drain
covers
that.
the right-hand
It's okay to
lane.
drain that, but we can't use it. It's serving its purpose. I mean, we didn't get any, our flooding on First and Second Street was.
So, yeah, it's catching the water, but when they pump it out, it's going right on to the
They're supposed to be
right-hand
pumping
lane.
it down the ditch.
No, they're not.
They're supposed to be pumping it down the
I
ditch.
can tell you that they're not.
They will be. Anything
And,
else?
on that, has anybody gone into that yet? Cause
Into what?
that ditch, cause they've sure hit the curb numerous times.
I don't see where they hit the curb, they might have hit it when they come around it, but, I mean, none of the reflectors have been bent down or anything that would go along there. And if they do go in it, then they're driving like an idiot and they need to go in it. Okay? That's the bottom line right there.
I still
You gotta
wonder,
get it, that's why we pay you, chief, go get them out.
I still wonder who designed that in the corner there on Second and Roosevelt. That's the most ridiculous corner.
Who's our
I've ever-
engineering firm? Don't wonder about it, you know who it is.
That's the most
Councilor
ridiculous
Lewis,
corner I've
any
ever seen.
comments for us tonight?
Don't we have a contract to renovate the gazebo? And that was supposed to happen after the bike rally, is that correct?
The one up there by the,
You talking about the Riverwalk?
Yeah.
yeah, it's been.
Didn't I see something where it was gonna get renovated or something?
Oh, that was the bathrooms that were over
Bathrooms,
by,
we made it into a
yeah,
gazebo.
where the theater is.
Oh, yeah.
The bathrooms were there, they took out the bathrooms and let the
And we
roof
made it
structure
into a
and stuff
gazebo.
make it into.
That's what
So that's finished?
That was a renovation, eh?
All right,
Yeah.
that's all I had.
Anything else?
I got one question. Where are we with that trailer up there at the golf course?
We're getting, prices, I'm waiting for,
Appraisal?
appraisal.
Is that something the police could use?
Yeah, we've talked about that, we'll see where we go with that. All I've got is the mosquitoes, we're working on them. Next year we'll get them early, I promise. Hopefully they don't get any worse than they already are, but I doubt that. Bear with us, please. I've been hit on the cleanup of the town a bunch, and that's why we brought the inmate work crew back. So bear with us on that too. As far as the bike rally went this year, and I know, John, that they assured us there weren't gonna be that many cops. There were more cops this year than I've ever seen at any one of them. And it was totally ridiculous. They did exactly everything that Lieutenant Dobbs guaranteed us wasn't gonna happen. That's exactly what happened this bike rally. So my suggestion to the police department, we don't invite them guys back next year, okay? We've got their names, we know who they are, we put out a list and we tell them that they are not welcome back here. Especially the state cops that stood over here on the corner of Fifth Street and yanked people out and wrote tickets all day. Okay, I think they wrote upwards of 500 citations,
There was a lot in the paper.
okay?
They came here to meet their quota.
Yeah, they're coming here and they're using our town to have a good time and meet their quota. And what's happening is our citizens are not having a good time. When I was down at the bike rally, I saw you there, but I did not see a single person from out of town at that bike rally. There was nobody. They were all locals. And they were all saying the exact same words were coming out of their mouths. Welcome to the Grants Cop Rally. And that's what I see down there, guys, and we cannot have that. I mean, we have successfully ruined the bike rally. And I mean, if our goal was, as a police department, was to get rid of them, we've about accomplished that. Because they come in and they win the bike, and then they boogie. I'll guarantee you, everybody was out of this town by 5 o'clock on Saturday evening. I came down Saturday night after work, and all I saw were locals and cops, and that's it. No-
Did you get our numbers, Mr. Mayor?
Say again?
Did you get our numbers?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I mean, and the thing that's crazy about that is, with that many cops, we probably shouldn't even have that many numbers, to be honest. I mean, because that's what I noticed. And don't get me wrong, we need them, but we don't need them doing what they were doing. And that's the bottom line. They don't need to come back.
Mayor,
Yes.
can I make a comment on that?
Go ahead, Michael.
I have a serious issue with the bike rally right now. I would like to see, first of all, I'd like to see results, numbers, financial status of Main Street after the bike rally. And, right now, to be honest with you, my opinion on this, I think we need to go in a different direction as a city and bring in something additional to the bike rally or get rid of it completely. If the numbers are bad and we are in the red, or Main Street is in the red, I can guarantee you this, I will not support funding the bike rally next year.
And that's fine. That's.
Do you have any comment on that, Manuel?
That's fine, Michael.
I can't give you a comment right now because we're still working on the numbers. And I think that we are under our budget. And if you guys can wait another week or 2 weeks on the next city council, I would address that. But right now, we're still telling, we're still getting money coming in, and we're still paying our bills. After that, I will let you know. But I have a feeling that we're going to be under our budget.
Thank you, Manuel.
Thank you.
Michael, this is Michael Lewis. I agree with you. And we have gained something from staging the bike rally. We know how to run a big event. And we shouldn't, I'd like to see the bike rally evolve into something else. But I'm not sure what yet, but I think that we can make this thing work if we sit down with Main Street and start taking this thing in a different direction. I was out there too, and I went to the concert on Friday night, and right outside the gate is this blasting of F this and F that and F and this and F and that, and I don't think it's the direction that or an example that we should be setting for our citizens and especially our children in this town. But I do think that the bike rally can be transitioned into something that we can all appreciate.
Route 66, classic cars and rally.
Yeah,
We can,
I agree. We need to do something.
Something different, guys.
we can have a biker day, you know.
I was there Friday night, real quick. I was out there Friday night, and it was like a ghost town.
There was less than 100 people in there.
There was vendors, there was no vendors. What vendors? You know, we didn't attract anybody into our town.
Oh, we did. They came in and got the motorcycle and left, Michael.
Yeah, you're right, they did. So, to be honest with you, I would like to see us, I would like to see like, Councilor Lewis mentioned, I'd like to see something else. I would like to see us do something different.
Well,
Over the years, we just gradually faded away.
Yes, and we've got a year to discuss this, and we'll make sure as we go forward, we'll make these decisions. And one of my biggest things is, guys, is we've got to get the police on board with the rest of us, because it was ridiculous number of cops, John, and you know it. You stood right there and watched me get off the sidewalk so that all the cops could pass. Me and my daughter had to get off the sidewalk to let all the police officers walk by.
I'm a bike rally supporter. I like it. You know, I always wanted to see it get bigger. I haven't lied this time, and I won't lie anymore.
We wouldn't be having this discussion if it got bigger.
It was a lot of officers. I don't know that it was more than last year, but it was still a lot of officers.
It sure seemed like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's why we have Main Street also.
Yes.
They have to be involved, in whatever we can.
Mayor,
Yes.
in our defense at Main Street, we had a rush here